Welcome to the newest episode of Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. I'm your host, Jason Fraley, picking the brains of the top filmmakers, musicians, and artists of our time. Country music star Sara Evans performs live tonight and tomorrow at the Barns at Wolf Trap in Vienna, Virginia. We spoke in 2020 when she performed at the Birchmere in Alexandria, Virginia, breaking down her biggest hits from Born to Fly to Suds in the Bucket. Hey, Sara Evans, thanks so much for joining us on WTOP. Whenever I have someone on, I always like to hear how they got started. So, what country artists did you listen to growing up in Missouri?
I grew up listening to so many different country artists. My mom was a huge music fan. Actually, both my parents were. So, Reba McEntire, Dolly Parton, Tammy Wynette, Loretta Lynn, the Judds, Patty Loveless, really just everybody. Anybody that was on country radio, I was listening to.
Now, how did you start singing yourself and decide to make the move to Nashville?
I started singing when I was 4 years old with my two older brothers. My parents started the Evans family band, and that's all I've ever done my whole life. So I just knew that, Nashville was my destiny. And when I graduated from high school, I saved up $1,000 and moved to Nashville with my brother.
Now, your first number one hit was No Place That Far. How exciting was it when you realized that you'd finally topped the charts?
It was amazing to have my first number one hit. Also, I had made a deal with myself that I would not have a baby until I had my first number one record because I wanted my career to really be solid and going strong. And so not only was it amazing to have a number one record, but then I knew that I could start planning to have my first baby. So that was awesome.
Your next big hit, of course, was Born to Fly. What inspired that one?
Born to Fly is a song that really rewrote about me growing up on the farm and me kind of having this double life, sort of like Dorothy in Wizard of Oz, where I was dreaming of becoming a country star, but also I was a farm girl and I had a very simple life. And so I would be standing out in the fields working, but also daydreaming about, spreading my wings and doing what I knew I was born to do.
Well, there's so many great ones, and I just wanted to thank you for recording Perfect. It's sort of a song that it gives us all permission that love can be, quote, rough around the edges. And, what was the goal of writing that song to sound sort of down to earth?
Perfect is a song that I wrote about that, just to kind of take the pressure off of so many couples that feel like they have to maybe be like other couples or have that perfect marriage. And there's no such thing as a perfect marriage or perfect relationship. So I just wanted to kind of say something that made that point, but also make it kind of funny.
Well, of all these hits, your most famous is probably Suds in the Bucket. Why do you think that's become such an anthem for young girls coming of age, leaving home, even today?
Suds in the Bucket is one of those songs that everybody can relate to. You don't have to be from the country and have a clothesline in your backyard. You can be from New Jersey and still understand the concept behind the song, which is, we're all afraid of when our little girls grow up, and are they going to choose the right man, and are they going to be protected and taken care of?
Now, another song I love of yours is called A Real Fine Place to Start. It just has such great visual storytelling, like the line "sparks flying in the dark." You can visualize it. How important was it to paint sort of a visual picture with those words?
A Real Fine Place to Start is a song that I did not write. It was written by Radney Foster and George Dukas, and I just loved it. I got it as soon as I heard it. I just knew that, it's rare that you come across a love song that's not a ballad, and this is the perfect love song, but it's still up-tempo, so I think that's why everybody loves it so much.
Totally. Now, in addition to your original songs, you've also done some really cool covers. I remember Edwin McCain's "I Could Not Ask for More," and then Bruce Hornsby's "Every Little Kiss." What's the key to a good cover in your mind?
I think the key to a good cover song is something that you would have recorded, or you can become the character in the song. And I couldn't ask for more. I just felt it was meant for me, and I recorded it right after Edwin McCain released it. And Every Little Kiss was a song that I loved when I was in high school. So it's just, I think it's just a matter of opinion and what are your favorite songs. And if you could choose to cover a song, just choosing something that you love. It doesn't have to be a song that you even relate to. It's just a song that you love.
Yeah. Well, you've been really generous with your time. So I guess, in closing, on a personal note, my wife, Ashley Marie, she once opened for the Dixie Chicks back in the 90s, and she wanted to tell you that, she thinks your B-sides are better than most other artists, radio hits, so your hidden gems are even better than other people's mainstream stuff. She particularly wanted to shout out the song 430. Did you know you were so influential on other artists, like a whole generation of other up-and-coming female artists, even in your hidden gems?
I think I always say this about most artists. You have to go deep into their music. You can't just base who they are as an artist and a writer on the singles that you hear on the radio. So, 430 is one of those examples of a song that, a lot of people wouldn't hear if they didn't listen to the entire album of Born to Fly. And a lot of times my favorite songs are not always the ones that we release.
All right, well, Sara Evans, thank you so much for joining us on WTOP. Thanks so much for listening to Beyond the Fame with Jason Fraley. Our theme music is Scott Buckley's Clarion. Remember to give us a 5-star rating if you like what you hear. We'll see you next time. I wanted to take a second to tell you about an app I really enjoy. Living in the DC area is great, and Podcast DC gathers all of the local shows that I like all in one local app. Health, sports, local news, politics, and so much more. Podcast DC is the new local app with hundreds of DC area podcasts to choose from. I can earn exciting rewards just for listening and share the podcasts I love instantly. Available in the App Store or in Google Play, listen local with Podcast DC.